Today's the day I discovered my 49th state. Let's get going. It's not going to explore itself. Okay, good morning. Now that we've completed that epic drive and discovered the 49th state, I'm so excited to be in Vermont. We crossed over the state line on Highway 7 coming into Bennington, and so we needed to get some breakfast. Mary went ahead and looked up a bunch of places, and when we got to them, most of them were closed the day after Christmas. Not to be surprised there, but a little disappointed. She went ahead and got a bagel from Benner's Bagels, and I went ahead and moved on to a northern staple, also known as Dunkin' Donuts. On today's agenda, Vermont is known for having a ton of covered bridges. So that's what we're going to be doing today as we travel north. We're going to stop and take photos and video of as many covered bridges as we can and see what the history has in store for them. So let's get on the road. This is the Silk Road Bridge. It spans the Walloomsac River between downtown Bennington, Vermont and North Bennington. It is a town lattice truss bridge and it was built in 1840. Credit is given to Benjamin Sears, who is from a family of well-known bridge builders in the region. His family is also credited with the construction of the Paper Mill Village Bridge and the Burt Henry Covered Bridge that is also nearby. The next bridge is pretty close by, so let's head on over there now. Okay, so at Silky Road, I was looking for one of these and I could not find it. This is the Paper Mill Village Bridge. I'm hoping to see one of these at each covered bridge that we go to. This is only the second one that we stopped at. The Paper Mill Bridge was built in 1889 and it also spans the Walloomsac River. The bridge is a single-span town lattice truss structure that's 125 feet long and 18.5 feet wide. A number of the truss members have been doubled to strengthen them, and there's also additional floor beams. This bridge was also built by Charles F. Sears. Tell me in the comments below which bridge is your favorite that you see today. Now we're off to one more bridge in the Bennington area before heading north. Okay, so here's another sign for the Henry Covered Bridge across the Walloomsac River. I don't know if I said that properly. This quiet spot was once a major river crossing. Traffic between southwestern Vermont and New York State crossed here until a railroad was built in 1852. Troops marched from Manchester, Vermont to the Battle of Bennington in 1777, and teams and stages transported freight and passengers. The original Henry Covered Bridge was built 1840. In the 1860s and 70s, heavy wagon loads of iron ore were hauled over the bridge from the Burden Iron Company mine on Orbed Road to its washing works on Perrin Creek in North Bennington. A succession of water-powered mills was located next to the bridge on the south side. The last was a grist mill operated in the 1920s by Bertine T. Henry, one of the area's many descendants of the Irish-born William Henry. Yeah. Okay, so we were able to get 3 bridges knocked out in Bennington. I don't know of any more that were there. And so now we have about a 2-hour drive up to maybe middle Vermont, roughly, not quite northern Vermont. We're going to go up Highway 7 to go find them. We're kind of racing the clock right now. It's 1:30 p.m. The sunset is at 5:30 in the afternoon. The downside is that is not what time it sets here in the north. And so we're going to run up Highway 7, cross over to Highway 100, which is supposed to be a really scenic route here in Vermont. And so from there, we are going to try to hit as many covered bridges as we can before the sun goes down, get as much footage as possible. these views here in Vermont have not been disappointing so far, to say the least. And so, cue the music. This is the Warren Bridge, and I'm going to tell you more about it, but first my drone must try to kill itself over the Mad River. The Warren Bridge is a short and simple structure built by Walter Bagley from 1879 to 1880. It features a single span supported by Queen's Post trusses. To date, it has not required reinforcement devices, as have many other bridges. Unique features of this structure are the differing portal openings at either end of the bridge. The result of an overhanging gable roof on the west side of the bridge will remain unaltered in the future unless, according to the stipulation of a town ordinance, 2/3 of the legal voters approve any proposed change. The Warren Covered Bridge is today an important symbol of the town. Now on to the next and final bridge on our tour today in Vermont. Okay, real quick, I wanted to interrupt the video. I made a mistake while filming the bridges. In my household, we call it Timmed it. And what that means is when you think you're recording something, and you didn't. So basically what happened is I thought I was filming the bridge with the drone, and I actually didn't start recording until after the drone landed it. Where the term timmed it comes from was a while back at our property in North Georgia, I was recording a bear on the property from a safe distance. So while recording the bear, it looked up and I thought it saw me. So I quickly stopped the recording, threw the phone in my pocket, and ran to my truck safely. When I got back to my truck to review the video, come to find out, I only started recording when I threw the phone in my pocket and ran to my truck. So after that, it's always been called timmed it. That's what happened with this video of the drone. So we went back the next day to continue filming of the bridge. This is the Great Eddy Covered Bridge. It is one of Vermont's oldest covered bridges, built in 1833 in Waitsfield, Vermont. The covered bridge spans the Mad River in roughly a north-south orientation. It is a single-span burr truss structure, 105 feet long. Each truss incorporates a laminated arch, and laminated stringers have been added underneath the deck for added strength. The bridge is covered by a metal roof, which extends on the east side over a walkway on the outside of the eastern truss. The bridge was built in 1833 and is at least one of the second oldest covered bridges, after only the Pulp Mill Covered Bridge, which may have been built at a later date. It is also the state's longest single-span burr truss bridge. The bridge was listed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1974. This bridge has had many repairs, possibly due to the frequent traffic. In August of 2011, Hurricane Irene pummeled the bridge. Even though nearby buildings were lifted off their foundations, the bridge survived. So tell me in the comments which was your favorite bridge of the ones that we went to see. There are so many more in Vermont that we did not get a chance to see. These are the only ones that we got to see in a couple days. It was really cool to see the differences in them, whether they were shorter or longer, whether they were painted and looked newer or refreshed. As a whole, it's a neat heritage that Vermont has to be known for covered bridges. If you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell for part 3 of the series in Vermont. We have a lot more cool stuff that we're going to share with you over the next couple of days as we continue to explore Vermont. Thank you for watching.